What is going on, guys? This is Trillis97, and in this video I'm just going to be talking about Armor King in the most recent patch 5.0. So I think Armor King has still been somebody quite decent, quite mid-tier, quite solid. You know, he's had his problems. You know, when it came out in Season 3, one of the legacy characters to come out, obviously he was quite hyped up, because, well, it's Armor King. A lot of people felt like he shouldn't have been in the game because, obviously, just a king, just another king. It's the same with Anna and Nina. I think it's the same with, like, Kazuya and Heihachi, really. They share a similar moveset, very similar, but obviously for story reasons need to exist. Armor King don't really have a story at this point because, you know, he's Armor King 2. But no, that's beside the point. I think the 4th season he got very good buffs, problems with his hop kick, just certain moves like his down forward 1, things that were not really working properly as well as they were meant to, were fixed. So it became quite good, became quite decent. Not something that put him up in the tiers, or put him back up in the mid tiers from what it was before, because people were putting him in low rank because, well, he was shit before because the problems were really bad. Like I mentioned, his down forward 1 didn't connect, his hop kick range was horrible. His while standing 1 range, shit, didn't hit. Now I think his while standing 1 is quite good. But no, I still think he's mid-tier. But I think there was another patch that came out, 4.20, that gave him quite good things, like down forward 2 now is homing. Down back with 1+2. When it hits on counter hit, it launches. Just stuff like that. It gave him a little more of an edge now, so he's becoming still quite good. Again, nothing too major in the tiers, but quite effective, quite versatile. That's always what I've liked about Armor King. Like, if you've noticed his move style, he's got very like mixed moveset depending on the situation. I've always had a problem with his speed, his movement, because I didn't play him for a while as much because I wanted to understand the game mechanics a little more. So I played Kazuya a lot more to understand what it was to wave dash, and just playing Mishimas in general. I realized his moveset, it's not so much his moveset, his movement. It's not all that. It's not that great. He's not that stiff, but it's very much lacking. So when it came to his wave dash, very easy to use because his moveset, I keep saying his moveset, his movement isn't all there. When as opposed to something like Kazuya or Heihachi, their movement is a lot more responsive. And yeah, you can say that it's got something to do with Tekken 7's lackluster movement, but yeah, they may have nerfed the movement, but you know, if you play Tekken a long time, and you know, you can see, like, when it comes to like backdashing and sidestepping, you can see Armor King's movement is not all that great, which kind of makes sense. But you look at Tekken Tag 2, his movement in that game was fucking sick. It was amazing. It's probably why JDCR loved using him like that. Now it's a little different. And obviously everybody getting stronger in this game, and Armor King was just kind of just sitting there at the middle. Obviously now he's still better, but there's certain things that he didn't like obviously throws are way easier to break. Compared to King, his pokes aren't as strong, because I'd say King's got a lot more rushdown when it comes to Armor King. Armor King, you got to really rely on reading the game. I'd say he's a lot more defensive, which I like. I think that gives him an edge, it gives him an identity. But If there were a few things that I would improve with Armor King, because in this new patch 5.0, the only real buff is while standing 2. His while standing movement was while standing punishment. It kind of sucks. You obviously have while standing 3. King has this too. It's okay. But if we see here on guard, I don't know why the frames are on the Evo. Yeah, I have to put it on down there as well. And my down button don't work, so I have to keep going up. Yeah, it's alright, you know what I mean? But it's a high, so anyone block this. You got one standard 4, that's still good. -6, not great. And still, while standing 1 is alright, but it's punishable, you know what I mean? Now, while standing 2, it's got that new wall stagger animation in it, so you can do a lot of things with it, like down 2, and then while he's because he'll be crouched after the hit, you can then do it. So if you're getting it on counter hit, you get some good damage. But that's sort of all they did. They didn't buff crouch dash 4. They didn't really buff any of his frames. Even though his frames weren't really that bad, they should have made him a lot more oppressive. You know, give him like opposite traits of King, because King is still better than Armor King. He's still got way more tools that will put you in situations where you've got to be open. Armor King's got a lot of rubbish you got to deal with, yeah. But because his pokes don't really do that much, and it's not so much that his pokes don't do that much, they're slow. Armor King has always had this problem of pokes and jabs, well, not so much jabs, but just attacks in general being slow. I would definitely say crouch dash 4 needs to be buffed as soon as possible. And this move, I have never liked this move, crouch dash 3. It's a high, it takes 31 to 34 frames to come out. It's unblockable, yeah. And I'd say it's a party move, so you've literally got to see it. But anybody that knows Armor King's matchup really well, they punish this with a 14 frame punisher, you know? So I don't know, I still think Armor King's still solid, but there's a lot more that he can do with him. Buff his movements. Buff crouch dash 4. Because crouch dash 4, while being a good move, you know, you can do ground throws after. The Oki is brilliant. What the hell am I supposed to do when I'm in the moment and I have to get really close to the opponent because the range sucks? And Armor King's range is sick, so this just makes it a little more inconsistent. Down forward 1+2. Its move sucks, I can't lie. It might hit grounded, but it just takes too long as a homing attack. But say that's it really. I think he's still quite solid. He's got a lot of tools. They could improve his throw game, but what else really could they do? Because his chain throws are pretty solid. If they gave him more, I think they'd give him an edge. Because it seems like everybody with a complete throw game can try and keep up with Armor King and get very close, but not close enough, which is good. But they need to give him more. So, buff crouch dash 4. Buff his movement. And give him better while standing punishment. This has been a problem for a minute. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any opinions on what you think they should buff as well in the comments, feel free to mention. And peace.